Good morning. My name's Okyay. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been writing about politics since 2005. I'm here to talk about the stories that I'm working on and where you can find them, and also to update you on the latest political news. Today is my second show, and the first item on the agenda is a federal court ruling on Monday that said the New York City Police Department stop and frisk policies are unconstitutional. Let's hear what the judge had to say. I find that New York City is liable for violating plaintiffs' 4th and 14th Amendment rights. The city acted with deliberate indifference toward the NYPD's practice of making unconstitutional stops and conducting unconstitutional frisks. Both statistical and anecdotal evidence show that minorities are indeed treated differently than whites. For example, once a stop is made, blacks and Hispanics are more likely to be subjected to the use of force than whites, despite the fact that whites are more likely to be found with weapons or contraband. The judge did not order an end to the practice of stop and frisk, but he did order some relief. She required that the NYPD be proactive not only about crime control and prevention, but also about protecting the constitutional rights of the people of the city of New York. The ruling orders officers to conduct training exercises for stop and frisk, and an independent lawyer will monitor compliance. In response to this ruling, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg said, "This is a very dangerous decision made by a judge that I just don't understand how policing works and what is compliant with the U.S. Constitution." Okay, Mr. Bloomberg. Mr. Bloomberg is about as anti-constitution as any other politician is in the entire country. So I'm not going to be taking his advice on the Constitution, that's for sure. This is the same official that wants to ban salt, trans fats, big gulp sodas, and he wants to take guns away from us. He is the extreme. Let's see what the 4th Amendment says. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. That's what the Constitution says. The government does not have a right to violate our freedom. An officer can stop me and ask questions because I match a description of a perp, but he cannot randomly stop and frisk anybody he wants, maybe because of their ethnicity or the neighborhood they live in. The judge said that's exactly what the NYPD are doing, and that has to change. Crime rates have gone down consistently across the nation as gun ownership increases, regardless of stop and frisk policies. Some will say that crime will skyrocket without the policy, but there's no evidence to suggest that assertion. We can't pick and choose the parts of the Constitution that we like and dislike. The entire document is the law. I have one calendar item that I want to share with you. The Second Amendment Foundation is hosting its 28th annual Gun Rights Policy Conference. That's in Houston, Texas, the last weekend in September. I went to the conference last year in Orlando, and it was excellent. So I definitely recommend that you try to make it there. I'm going to try and make it there as well. From my news website, conservativewomen.com, contributing writer Alice Lemos posted a scathing article on Eliot Spitzer. You got to read it. He's the former governor of New York who was forced to resign after being involved in a prostitution scandal back in 2008, is now running for state comptroller. We really have to stop voting these politicians into office election year after election year. It truly is mind-boggling what they get away with. As I mentioned on Monday this week for Guns and Patriots, I interviewed the president of SCOPE, Stephen Altstadt. SCOPE is a popular gun owners group who actively support the Second Amendment. Altstadt was involved in a disagreement with some county fair officials after they told him he couldn't use his pro-Second Amendment signs at the county fairgrounds. It's an interesting story. You can find that story at humanevents.com. A link to e-letters and scroll down to Guns and Patriots. You can find that article and all of my Guns and Patriots articles there. You can find my news website at conservativewomen.com. That's conservative with a hyphen, women.com. Follow me on Twitter at RQ Political Blog or Facebook or Google+. And please remember to subscribe to my channel. Do it right now. Subscribe. I really appreciate it. So thank you for watching. I'll be back on Friday around the same time, 10 a.m. And I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless.